நம்மளாம் நம்மளுக்கே Good afternoon, ma'am.
Hi. Hi, Akshay. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Just kidding. Okay. What all we learned last class?
Excretion, but only beginning.
The ammonotelic, urotelic, all those things, no?
Yeah. First session.
Okay. We learned about human excretory system also, no? That is, we learned the outline of the human excretory
That's
system,
what,
no?
ma'am. First,
Okay. We didn't learn about,
yeah, that's what. Not full detail.
okay. We didn't learn about kidney and its parts and all those things, no? Oh, just give me a second.
No.
Just go through your textbook meanwhile, like till whatever we learned, if there is any doubt.
Ma'am, yesterday power cut. Full Chennai or only area wise?
No. Only my area was a power cut. I got it back by around 5 o'clock or something. Mm, okay. So today we will learn about the structure of the kidney, and if time permits, we can also go ahead with the what is it called? Yes, structure of nephron also. Okay. So after that, those two topics, we just have like urine formation left out. Then there are two more things like what will happen, how will your kidneys play a role when your blood pressure increases and your blood pressure decreases. So basically, your kidneys also play a major role in controlling your blood pressure. Okay, so we will be learning about these things. Are you aware of it, RAS and atrionatal factor? Hello, hello.
Ma'am, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me, Akshay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so have you heard of the kidney's contribution in your blood pressure?
I would have, but I don't remember now, ma'am.
No, no. Okay, so but remember henceforth that this particular topic, because your ANF
No.
and your RAS is very important in terms of questions. Because repeatedly questions are asked from that particular area. Okay, and yes, so when we talk about the kidney internally, if you see, a kidney has two regions. Okay, one is called the cortex, and another is called the medulla. So, like in all
Ma'am,
the
your
other,
screen is sharing.
what?
Your screen is still not sharing.
No, I didn't share my screen. I'm just telling you. I'm giving you a rough outlook first, and then I'll share the screen. It's okay. Let me just give this to my mom and come back. Okay. Just a second. Crystal. I'm getting a smoke smell for a very long time. Looks like something is burning, but I'm not able to find out where and what is burning. I found a reason why my laptop was working slow.
Ma'am,
Huh?
you what, ma'am?
Like I found the reason why my laptop was like getting hanged and working slow, right?
Oh, why, ma'am?
Yeah. So there were a lot of temporary files that were stored. I don't know how those are stored, but yeah, my IT people then deleted those files and then only it became proper. Okay, just give me a second. What are the excretory organs in cockroach called?
What, ma'am?
In cockroach, what are the excretory organs called as?
Oh, ma'am. Oh, wait, that is digestion. Excretory, ma'am. Give hint, ma'am.
Flua. Oh, I already taught you. That is what we learned last class.
Ma'am, I forgot. No, I know digestive system. That
Mm,
I know organ. Nef, nef something.
organ, yes. No. Starts with M.
Nephridia.
M ன்னு சொல்லும்போது நெஃப்ரீடியான்னு சொல்றேன்.
M.
Mm,
Ma, Malpighian tubules.
Malpighian tubules. Okay, fine. It's loading, it's loading. Okay. What about protonephridia? In which or I mean organism can you see protonephridia?
In which organism?
In which organism can you
Hmm.
see protonephridia as the excretory organ?
Oh, flatworm.
Mm, okay. Nephridia?
Cockroach.
Mm.
No, no, no. Earthworm.
Earthworm, cockroach, எல்லாம் சொல்றா.
Oh, all. Okay, earthworm, cockroach.
How is it possible that cockroach will have both malpighian tubules and nephridia?
No, no, no. Earthworm.
Okay, sure. Final answer.
Final answer.
Sure. Okay. Earthworm. Okay. Not bad. You remember something. A moment. I'll log in from my phone. Okay. So, what all do you know about the internal structure of the kidney? Meanwhile, let me know that first.
Internal structure.
Yeah,
Nephron.
that's it.
That is unit of kidney.
Nothing
After that,
else.
if you uh, nephron, I know, ma'am. That is the nephrons are small, small those things. Then I know this thing.
Correct. Ah,
Then I know that what is that? That's all.
what is what?
That's all I know.
That's all you know. So you don't know all these medullary pyramids, renal column of
Oh,
Purkinje,
renal column,
you
renal
know,
vein, renal artery, renal vein, renal
renal
artery.
vein. Okay, 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 cool. Fine. So basically, as I said, the kidneys area is divided into medulla and cortex. So wherever you hear medulla, always remember it will be the inner region. And wherever you hear cortex, it will be the outer region. Okay. So because
What, ma'am?
you will be hearing a lot of times this term called as medulla cortex.
Hmm.
Okay. So what is this medulla? What is this cortex now? That region of your outer region of the kidney is called as cortex, and the inner region is called as medulla.
What
Can you
outer
hear
region
me?
is cortex?
Yes, outer is cortex, inner is medulla.
Hmm.
Okay. So I'm just trying to share the screen. Just a second. Okay. Share the screen. I'm also trying to connect from my phone so that, okay, you can see this, my screen.
1 second, ma'am. OnePlus new phone you got.
Yes, I got my new phone.
Which phone, ma'am?
OnePlus Nord.
Oh, it's good, though.
I just started using. So not very sure if it
There
is.
it seems. I can't eat anything.
No, I didn't share the screen.
Ma'am,
Just a second.
where do
Yes.
you?
When are your pre-board starting? I mean, your pre-board's results coming.
Ma'am, pre-board results, sir.
Oh,
Oh, that they will tell now when I got. No, wait. Biology, I know. I got 57 out of 70.
wait, where did you lose marks?
All diagrams.
Where?
Ma'am, 12th grade diagrams, ma'am.
So,
No, sorry. Only one diagram was there in the entire question.
ah,
What, ma'am? Ma'am. So basically, wait. I have noted it down. Wait.
tell me.
Ma'am, yeah. I lost marks in 13, 14. Ma'am, all assertion reasoning.
All
Assertion reasoning.
assertion reasoning you lost. But they don't ask
Yeah.
for pre-boards and all assertion reason.
Ma'am, there is, ma'am, new pattern. You didn't see. There is a paragraph and all based on the paragraph 5 questions. Then before that, there is assertion reasoning.
The paragraph questions I know, but I didn't know assertion reason they
Assertion
started asking.
reasoning we have. Before that, assertion, even in chemistry, even in epsilon chemistry test, there's assertion reasoning. Even epsilon physics test, there's assertion
See,
reasoning.
assertion reason is a pattern that is there for a very long time. But then Nadula, they stopped it for NEET, but I didn't know they again bought it for this one, boards.
Both. Yeah, both is there.
Okay, cool. Okay, can you see the screen now?
1
Without
second,
any.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, bird flu is there, it seems. I can't eat anything.
Yeah, it's been there for quite a long time now, actually.
But cooked is not a problem, no, ma'am.
Just an excuse, everything is a problem only.
No, they have told no, if it at 70 degrees Celsius, it dies.
Still, like will you feel like eating something that is deceased?
No, I still go, I'll eat, that is not problem. But if it's cooked means virus will die, they've told. So I should eat at proper place where it's cooked, no, ma'am.
Oh, like that. Smart. Okay.
Only
Now,
good places I should go and eat where they cook it. Nice, nice.
why am I not able to draw? Oh, nice.
We are at Bangalore. We are famous for our biryani.
Uh-huh. Okay. See, when I take a cross section of the kidney, okay, so this is how it's gonna look. Why did I get this?
Of kidney, I know.
Uh,
I know cross section of kidney.
yes. So whenever you draw the cross section of the kidney, okay, you're going to have basically two regions, okay. So one will be the outer part, which will be called as a cortex, as I said. Another
And
will be
medulla.
the inner part, which is medulla. They both are made up of two different types of tissues. That's the reason why they're divided into two regions. Is this clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, this cortex and medulla is divided by certain pyramid-like structures. Okay. So it will look like this.
Ma'am, are you drawing this on your phone?
No, I just connect. I told you, I was trying to connect from my laptop. Okay, now pay attention, okay? Because I can't do this with my PPT. That's why I'm drawing it. Okay, so these are called as renal pyramids. What are they called as?
Renal pyramids.
Since they are present in the medullary region, they are also called as medullary pyramids. What are they called?
Renal/medullary pyramids.
Very good. Okay. Now, what is going to happen is that the space between these renal pyramids, no, this one, it looks like a column, correct? A cylindrical column, correct? Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
So we call that particular region as renal column of Bertini.
Renal column of Badinio.
Yes, of Bertini.
Why such They can't just call it renal column. Huh?
No, renal column of Bertini. Okay.
Or not.
And
That is
okay.
between the two.
Yes. So basically, when you take the cross section of the kidney, there is cortex region here, and then there is this medullary region here. And the medullary region, you have the pyramid-like structures. Yes. And one more thing you need to remember is these pyramid-like structures are connected with each other. It's not like they're separate. Okay. So these pyramid-like structures are joined with each other. The gap between these pyramid-like structures is called as what? Renal column of?
Renal column of Bertini.
Renal column of Bertini. Very good. Now, what happens is that this particular renal column of Bertini will come join like this. So this will be my right. And yes, here you go. Okay. So this will join together and then this will form the ureter.
Ureter.
Okay. Now there are some more structures in between that you need to know before that particular concept. Okay. So
Basically, after this chapter,
another.
chapter is a big chapter.
Yes, this chapter is a little bit big chapter. Okay. Now, the next thing that you need to understand is that, okay, so there are some structures here, this particular region here, the small region, this notch is there, no? The small notch is called as calyx. What is it called as?
Calyx, like in flower is there, no?
Yeah, calyx. Okay. So, calyx is basically how this calyx is formed is that, okay. So this renal column of Bertini, if you see, it will be something like this. Okay. And this will also be, the peak will be something like this. Okay. So what will happen is that between these two, this region, can you see this region? Where I have put a full stop kind of a thing. Can you see? Hello? Akshay? Akshay, I can't hear you.
My Zoom crashed. I just joined the meeting again.
What happened?
My Zoom crashed.
Your Zoom crashed. Wow. Role reversal. Okay. Now listen.
No,
So
some
this.
update was there. So I put update by mistake. So it immediately closed and restarted the app for update.
Okay. So can you see this particular?
Yeah, I heard till not in between the this thing, pyramids.
So
In the
this
edge of the
particular
pyramid.
thing will be called as a minor calyx. The small area will be small, no? So it is minor calyx. Okay. The passage that this minor calyx, this little bit portion here, this portion will be all these portion here will be called as a major calyx. Okay. So how it is? You have the medullary pyramids, and these medullary pyramids.
Medullary pyramids, they have renal column of Bertini.
Yes, and then the renal column of Bertini will extend in such a way that there is a small portion here, and this portion is called as what?
Oh, minor calyx.
Yes, minor calyx, and the minor calyx will lead into the major calyx. Okay, and then once the major calyx, so this you can say approximately this particular region here is your major calyx. Okay, and this major calyx will lead to another area which is called as your renal pelvis. So on a whole, what are the passages we learned? It starts with
medullary pyramids, in between medullary pyramid, renal column of Bertini, then extends to minor calyx, then major calyx, then renal pelvis.
Yes, very good. Yes, then this renal pelvis will lead to the ureter. Now there is a notch-like place, no, from where the ureter is coming out. That notch-like place is called as a hilum.
The notch, what, ma'am?
So if you have a kidney here, okay, so there will be this opening from where the ureters come out, no? That will be called as hilum. So
Hello?
hello, yeah, can you hear?
Yes, ma'am.
So at this point, what will happen? This is like a hilum, like understand hilum is like a door. Okay. So whatever comes out and goes into the kidney, whether let it be a artery or a vein or a ureter, it will pass through this hilum.
Hmm.
This notch-like structure, which is present from where the ureters, then your renal vein, renal artery arises, is called as hilum. What is it called?
Hilum.
Okay. Till now, how many structures did you learn?
Till now we learned 6.
6 structures. Okay. Now there are some tissues that are arranged in the form of rays in the medullary pyramids. Okay. So if you see the images, you can see straight lines like this.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Since they are arranged in the form of rays, they are called as medullary rays.
Since
These
what?
these straight line structures. So suppose let me say that this is one renal pyramid. Okay. So in the renal pyramid, you can see tissues like this,
Hmm.
like straight lines. And these tissues are called as what? They're called
Medullary.
as medullary rays. That's it. Till here is clear?
Hmm.
Any doubt?
Mm-hmm.
Understood?
Hmm. 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 Because I'm a pro, I understood everything.
ஓஹோ அப்படியா ரொம்ப
In
சந்தோஷம்
exam, mainly in assertion reasoning,
ஆ
both assertion and reason are correct. But whether it is correct explanation or not, there only I lost marks.
ம்
We got 6 assertion reasoning. Out of
ம்
that, in 4 of them, assertion and reason were correct.
ம்
But whether it was correct explanation or not, no, there I lost marks.
okay. That is generally that happens. Anyway, for NEET, you don't have assertion reasons, so it's okay. But
Happiest
yeah,
moment.
yeah. Okay. Now that you know the structure of the kidney, see in your textbook, they have not given all these terms in detail. So they have given the diagram of kidney and they've just mentioned the parts of it. That's it. But they have not mentioned it in detail. That's the reason why I took it. Like so that whenever we mention it about what it is and all those things, you can easily understand. Say, for example, whenever I say justa glomerulus, okay,
Just a what?
justa glomerular cells.
Ma'am, such complicated names.
It's not complicated and all. We say no, just near that only the shop was there, or just near that only my house is there, and all. We sometimes tell, right? Just like that only. Okay. So just
Oh,
yes.
oh,
So here just
juxta,
actually what happened?
juxta glomerulus.
Yes. So glomeruli is a part of the nephron. Okay. So the cells that are present near the glomerulus is called as juxtaglomeruli cells. That's it. Is this that difficult?
What is called juxta glomerulus cell?
Glomeruli or glomerulus is basically a part of your nephron.
Hmm.
Okay. So the cells that are present near this particular glomerulus is called as juxtaglomeruli cells.
The cells near
Yeah.
the glomeruli is called juxta
Yes, that's it. Very
glomeruli.
simple. Yes. So later on, when we are learning about the various processes, so we will come across these terms like calyx or medullary rays or medullary pyramids. So that time you should not wonder what they are. That's the reason why I am taking it prior. Okay.
Hmm.
Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now we come to the structure of nephron. So basically, what happens is that there is a cup-shaped structure here. The nephron begins with this cup-shaped structure. Okay. So this cup-shaped structure is
Big
basically
cup shape.
called as Bowman's capsule.
Oh yeah, I remember this.
Okay. What is it called?
Bowman's capsule.
Bowman's capsule. So this Bowman's capsule has several layers and all.
Ma'am, what? I can't tell you.
In your textbook, it is not given. I just mentioned it. So I'm going to like these nephrons, right? they have like different, this particular Bowman's capsule has different layers. So we are not going to go now into the depth of that. Okay, when it is required, I will let you know. But for now, understand that this Bowman's layer is basically, Bowman's capsule is a several layer capsule. Now, why it is called as capsule is because, what is a capsule generally?
It's like a thing to hold something.
Yes, correct. So this Bowman's capsule is going to hold your arteries. What is it going to hold?
Arteries.
What artery is what we're going to say. Okay. So earlier I told you, right? So to the kidney, there is a notch. Through this notch, the renal artery, renal vein and all will enter. Did I tell you?
Yes, ma'am.
Now what is going to happen? This renal artery, once it comes into the kidney, it will branch further into arteriole. What arteriole?
Renal artery will branch into renal arteriole.
Renal arteriole. Okay. Now, so there will be one arteriole that gets into the Bowman's capsule. Okay. So this arteriole, which is getting into the Bowman's capsule, is called as efferent arteriole.
Arteriole entering the Bowman's capsule is efferent arteriole.
Yes. So the artery that leaves, the one is called as efferent arteriole.
Efferent arteriole.
Efferent, E for exit.
Oh yeah, ma'am, it's like afflux and efflux.
Exactly. Okay. Now what will happen? The arterioles will further branch into the thinner version called as capillaries. Okay. And you will have you will have a tuft of capillaries, and these tuft of capillaries is called as glomerulus.
Glomerulus.
Okay. So you have the main structure of the nephron starts with something called as Bowman's capsule. Okay. And this Bowman's capsule is going to basically capsule your or cover the glomerulus. The glomerulus is basically a tuft of capillaries formed by efferent arteriole and efferent arteriole.
Afferent and efferent.
Yeah. Any doubt till now?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Now, by looking at the picture, can you tell me what are the differences between efferent arteriole and efferent arteriole?
Afferent is entering the ureter.
Okay.
Ma'am, efferent is leaving the ureter.
Okay. By looking at the picture, what else can you find?
At the picture.
How did I draw efferent? Thin or thick?
Oh, afferent is bigger, wider.
Yes, afferent is thicker.
Area of cross section is more.
Yes, correct. And also,
Area of
afferent will
cross
have
section is
more.
more.
Okay, afferent will have more pores than efferent. Okay, so there's a reason behind this.
Ma'am, your voice is.
Hello, can you hear me? Hello, Akshay. Akshay. What happened? Hello.
No. Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. I couldn't hear you before. Now I can hear you. Okay. What happened?
The power cut and came back.
Wi-Fi
problem.
Are you asking me or are you telling me?
No, I'm telling you.
Oh, okay. Nikki, whatever happens to me is happening to you all of a sudden.
Ma'am,
wow,
I know, ma'am.
Nice. Today's not your day then.
Too much. My hands smell like ammonia. My hand smells like ammonia.
Okay, you had chemistry
Too
lab.
much chemistry, ma'am. Some 5 salts we had to do. He's dumped. Too dumb he is. How many salts we'll do in one day?
Why not? You can do all the salts in one day.
10 salts are there. We could do 3 today.
Okay, I lost track of where my. Okay. So Yes, efferent arteriole, efferent arteriole. What is the difference is that both are going to carry blood. But the thing is, efferent arteriole is going to bring in more of like blood, which impure blood. So when I say impure blood, I mean a blood which is mixed with nitrogenous waste. Is this clear? And
Yes, ma'am.
efferent arteriole will take away the blood which is pure. That means that it like all the nitrogenous waste has gone into the nephron. Okay,
All the
so
nitrogen waste has gone into the nephron.
nephron. So glomerulus is going to not only nitrogenous waste, all the waste that has to be excreted would have been filtered by the glomerulus. So glomerulus is like a collection center where all the waste is first collected and then processed through the nephron. Is this clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Glomerulus, all waste collected, processed through the nephron.
Yes. Okay. Now what will happen is that this particular Bowman's capsule is going to extend. Okay. And going to form a coiled tube. A highly coiled tube. Okay. Like this. Since this is a coiled tube, we call it as convoluted. What do we call it?
Convoluted.
Yes. Anything that is just like twisted or something, we can call it convoluted. Now, this particular coiled tube is near the Bowman's capsule, right? So since it is near the Bowman's capsule, you call it as proximal convoluted tubule, also known as PCT.
Complicated names.
It is not complicated. That's the reason why I gave you the reason behind why that particular structure is called so. I told you, no, it is very convoluted and it is near the glomerulus and your Bowman's capsule. That is the reason why it is called as proximal. What do you mean by proximal? Nearby. Yes or no?
Nearby.
Yes.
Yes,
okay. So this particular proximal convoluted tubule is going to, have you seen this U pins that like generally for the hair and all the ladies wear?
Hairpin I've seen.
Hairpin, like U-shaped hairpins, have you seen?
U-shaped.
You have not seen, huh? Okay. So basically, this proximal convoluted tubule is going to lead to a thin U-shaped structure like this, a U-shaped tubule.
Which is going to lead to that?
Okay.
Proximal
convoluted tubule. And this U-shaped structure is called as loop of Henle or Henle's loop.
Oh, Henle's loop.
Yes, that is this only. Okay.
I know
now,
that.
there is this particular Henle's loop is going to lead to another convoluted tubule. But this convoluted tubule is going to be short, not long as your proximal convoluted tubule. Okay. And since it is far away from your glomerulus or your Bowman's capsule, it is called as distal convoluted tubule.
Distal convoluted tubule.
Yes, DCT. So got the logic?
Because it's far away.
Far away from?
Far away from Bowman's capsule.
Far away from Bowman's capsule. That's the reason why it is called as distal convoluted tubule. Now this distal convoluted tubule, basically there will be a huge tube that will be running across. And this tube is called as a collecting duct. So all the nephrons, okay, will open up. There will be one nephron opening from here, another nephron like this. All the DCTs will open into the collecting duct. Okay. And this collecting duct is going to collect all the urine, then pass from the collecting duct. It goes to the calyx. Then it goes to the renal pelvis. Then it goes to the ureters. This is the flow of the urine. Is this clear till now?
Yes, ma'am.
100%.
Now, one more time you repeat from beginning, it will be crystal clear.
Okay, so from the beginning, okay. As in from this nephron structure or from the excretory system structure?
No, from the nephron structure.
Okay. So the nephron begins with a structure called as Bowman's capsule. The Bowman's capsule is going to have a tuft of capillaries. When I say tuft, a group of capillaries. These capillaries are basically formed by the efferent arteriole and efferent arteriole. Okay. Efferent arteriole is something that comes into the Bowman's capsule, and efferent arteriole is something that leaves the Bowman's capsule. Okay. Efferent arteriole is going to bring impure blood, whereas efferent arteriole is going to take back pure blood. Okay. Now, this particular tuft of capillaries is called as glomeruli. Now, whatever exchange of base products happens, it happens at this glomerulus. From here, the next portion of your nephron is called as the convoluted tubule. Since this convoluted tubule is near the Bowman's capsule, it is called as proximal convoluted tubule. Okay, this leads into a U-pin shaped structure, a thin U-pin shaped structure, which is called as loop of Henle. This loop of Henle, yes, this loop of Henle is basically going to lead to another small convoluted tubule, but this is far away from the Bowman's capsule, so you call it as distal convoluted tubule. Okay, and that distal convoluted tubule will open into the collecting duct.
Distal convoluted tubule will open into the collecting duct.
Collecting duct, yes. Now you remember we learned about medullary pyramid.
Yes.
So how this thing work? No, in the medullary pyramid only this collecting duct will be there. Okay.
In medullary pyramid, collecting duct will be there.
Yes, correct. So one medullary pyramid la you will have one collecting duct na. அங்க இருக்கிற எல்லா nephronsum will open into this one collecting duct. It's like a common passage for all the nephrons. Okay, so these nephrons are basically present in the cortex and the medullary region. Okay, so how they are present is what I will teach you next. But for now, did you understand whatever was taught till now?
Yes, ma'am. Almost.
Yes.
If I read the textbook once, it will crystal clear.
Crystal clear, no? Okay. So now you will have it a little more clear if I show you the image. Now that you understood the concept, I think if we look into the PPT right now, it will be easier for you to understand. Okay. Let me just find the PPT for you once again. I'm still not familiarized with the way my phone works, with the scrolling and all those things. So if I share the screen, I don't know how to go back to the PowerPoint that I had opened or a window that is already open. It will take me some time. Okay, 1 second. See, if you understand the structures properly, I'm telling you again, it's very easy to understand the process later on. Okay. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Don't sleep off.
No, I said, you didn't hear.
Oh, you said, I didn't hear the was very slow.
I am so not sleepy.
What is the difference between the egg that you eat at home or cook at home and the egg from which the chick hatches?
Same thing, ma'am.
Same thing, Ada.
It's just premature. Premature.
That is where everyone goes wrong. That is what we. So most of the market eggs that you see, no, they are basically.
And it is not fertilized, no.
That is a major difference.
Because hens can lay eggs without any fertilization. If it's fertilized, then there'll be a chick. If no fertilized, no chick.
So commercially produced eggs don't have what is it called? The fertilization wouldn't have happened.
Ma'am, but I can have fertilized egg also, no, ma'am.
You can have fertilized egg. Proper incubation is not done with. Yeah, if proper incubation is not done, means that particular chick won't grow. So you basically you're eating the embryo. But currently, the egg yolk that you are eating, no, is not something with the embryo. It is just plain egg, unfertilized egg. That's it. So,
Yeah, correct.
Solona, you're eating the female gametes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Basically,
yes, I don't think
we
it is
tell it in scientific terms, it sounds very weird. We are eating the female gamete.
correct. Screen
What are we eating? We are eating female gamete.
share. Okay. Can you see the screen?
Yes, ma'am. Welcome to Byju's classes.
Correct. Oh, yeah. The one more thing I forgot to mention is why do we have two pairs of kidney? So in case one fails, the other will help you in functioning. But we don't need at the same time both the kidneys for functioning.
Correct.
Okay. So one
That's
kidney,
why people donate their kidney. They
correct.
survive with one kidney.
Yes. So you can actually donate your kidney because if you're, it's just a backup plan. The other kidney is your backup plan. In case this fails, fine, okay.
Hmm.
So yeah,
God is too good. Too smart he was.
yes. Okay. So can you see this image here? Okay.
Yes,
So this
kidney,
is
hilum,
the
artery.
yes. So can you see where the arteries, veins, and your ureters all are commonly opening into? That area is called as what?
Oh, medullary area.
In the medullary. I told you, no. Hilum is the region where
Medullary pyramid.
hey, hilum is the region where your arteries,
Ah,
veins, and ureters open.
sorry. Hilum, hilum. Yeah, correct. I
Yes.
thought you were generally asking where is hilum present?
Hilum is present at the entrance of the kidney.
Kidney. Correct.
Yes. Okay, as I said, your kidney is divided into outer cortex and inner medulla. Okay, so
Hmm.
this is how the kidney is supposed to look like. Okay, now what are these? We will see. So yeah, in the outer cortex region, there is no specialized cells and all. But in the
Hmm.
when you talk about the medullary region, you have this pyramid-like structures, which we call it as what? Medullary pyramids. Can you see?
Pyramid. And then between medullary pyramids, renal, this thing, columns of
Bertini.
Bertines.
Yes. And then where the renal column of Bertini
Calyx.
ends, that is
Calyx.
calyx
Minor calyx. And
and
then major
major calyx.
calyx.
And then you have the this particular area before the hilum. That is called as your renal pelvis.
Renal pelvis. And then each, this thing we zoomed in and saw.
Yes. So correct. That these things and all, I think it is clear for
Structure
you.
of nephron. Structure.
Structure of nephron, yes. So answer this question.
Hilum.
Yes. Now, basically, nephrons are like your water purifiers. Okay, their major function is to purify the blood. So
Hmm.
that is filtering of the blood. So this particular like reason, like the major function of the kidney is to filter the blood. Yes or no? In the kidney, who is doing this function? The nephrons. So that's why nephrons are called
Nephron.
as a functional unit of kidney.
Hmm.
So if they ask you which are the functional unit of kidneys, what will the answer be?
Nephron. For intestine,
Nephron.
it is villi. For kidney, it is nephron.
Yes, correct. So when you talk about the nephron, as I said, how they are located, we'll see the placement of it later. First, we will see the structure of it. Okay. Uh, uh. So we can basically classify the nephrons part as glomeruli part and renal tubule part. Okay.
Hmm.
So what is the difference between renal tubule and glomerulus? I'll tell you now. So your renal tubule is basically your Bowman's capsule, your proximal
Hmm.
convoluted tubule, loop of Henle, distal convoluted tubule. Okay. And your collecting duct. All these tubes together is going to form your renal what? Tubules.
Renal tubule.
Okay. So whatever is marked in yellow in this picture is the renal
Hmm.
tubule.
Mm.
Is this clear?
Whatever marked in yellow is renal tubule.
Whatever marked in yellow is renal tubule. So that includes what all parts?
What that includes?
What all parts? What all parts does the renal tubule comprises of?
Oh, the renal tubule comprises of. Wait. Ma'am, tell one.
All the yellows
Henley's
are
loop. Henley's loop.
okay.
Bowman's capsule.
Yes.
Then Bowman's capsule and Henley's tube.
Mm.
Then
Henley's loop.
then then what is that? Glomeruli. That name you're
Glomeruli will
giving.
come under renal tubules.
Oh no.
Then
I told two, no?
what are the
Then
other two tubules?
PCT.
What is it?
Proximal convolute tubule.
Convoluted.
Convoluted tubule.
And the other one is?
Then Henley's loop.
That will lead to what tubule?
That will lead to
The tubule is
what?
far, no. So what should we call it?
Distal convoluted tubule.
Very good. Okay. So all the tubules or the tubular part of the nephrons come under the category called as renal tubule. Apart from renal tubule, what else your nephron has means it has glomerulus. So that is why in this slide it was shown parts of nephron. So in general, we can classify the parts of nephrons into two parts. One is renal tubule, another is glomerulus. Renal tubule consists of quickly.
Renal tubule consists of Henley's loop, proximal convoluted tubule, distal convoluted tubule.
Very good. Okay. And loop of Henle you will have like two portions. Okay. The one that is going down will be the descending loop, and the one that is going up is called as ascending loop. Just like your descending, ascending colon, you remember? What?
One going down is descending loop, one going up is ascending loop. Like how ascending colon, descending colon.
Correct. Yes. Now, in this image also, can you see efferent arteriole is thicker and efferent arteriole is thinner?
Where, ma'am?
In this image here. This is efferent arteriole. It's thicker and your efferent arteriole is thinner. Can you see the difference?
Thinner. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, what happens is that further these, okay, when I come to that particular topic, countercurrent mechanism, I'll tell you. But for now, you have to understand that these efferent arterioles, no, that goes out of the glomerulus, it will branch further. Okay. And that branch is called as peritubular capillaries. What are they called as?
What will branch further, ma'am?
This efferent arteriole here, the one that is going outside. Can you see it is branching out in the image? So these branches are called as peritubular capillaries. What are they called?
Peritubular capillaries.
These peritubular capillaries will further branch and go around the loop of Henle and form the vasa recta. What is it called?
Vasa recta.
What is the significance of vasa recta, peritubular capillaries? I'll tell you when I'm talking about a mechanism called as countercurrent mechanism. Okay, so for
what?
countercurrent that you will learn. Okay, for now, what you need to remember is your efferent arteriole is going to branch and form what capillaries?
What is that name called?
Peritubular capillaries.
Peritubular capillaries.
Do you have your textbook nearby?
Ma'am?
Do you have any paper or pen? Just note this name alone. Like since it is not given, I don't think it is given in the textbook. So just note it down. Efferent arteriole branches to form peritubular capillaries.
Efferent arterioles branches to form
peritubular capillaries.
Peritubular capillaries done.
The peritubular capillaries further branches
The capillary
further branches
branches
and forms
and forms
vasa recta
vasa recta
around the Henle slope.
around the
Henle slope.
Henle slope.
So in all these images, if you see, there will be only like around the Henle slope, there will be one capillary that is going around. That is called as vasa recta. Is this clear till now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The next thing that you need to remember is that the PCT and DCT, no?
The what, ma'am?
The PCT, DCT, your proximal convoluted
It's a
tubule and
reactive
distal
tunnel.
convoluted tubule. Yes. They are
Yeah.
always going to be in the, and the glomerulus, they are always going to be in the cortex region.
They're always going to be in the
Cortex region.
cortex region.
Yes. So you see this image here. Okay. I told you this is just one medullary pyramid's image. Can you see?
Mm.
I told you, no, each medullary pyramid will have one collecting duct. Yes or no? So the one that is running in the center is the collecting duct. Can you see?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, can you see this many openings here? So all the nephrons that is present in this medullary pyramid, this particular cross section is basically going to open into the collecting duct here. Okay.
All
So this
the
is not, yeah. So this is not the medullary pyramid alone. It has both the medullary pyramid and the cortex region also. They have taken one small portion of the big kidney's cross section. Okay. So the top portion is going to be your cortex, and this portion is going to be your medullary pyramid. Is it
Okay.
clear? Yes. So now what is going to happen is this medullary pyramid, the collecting duct will run across like this. From the medullary pyramid, it will extend up to the cortex. Is this clear?
The collecting duct.
Yes, the collecting duct.
Okay.
Okay. Now, what will happen is collecting duct is a common pathway for several nephrons to draw. So whatever nephrons is there in this particular region will all open into this collecting duct.
Whatever nephron is there.
In this particular region is going to open into this collecting duct. So that is why this collecting duct has these
The
tubules.
collecting duct.
Yes. Can you see these tubules here, like these openings here? Like a branches. The madri. Terida,
In
terilia.
between. Oh, yeah.
Yes. What are
If I
they?
look close.
Yes, those are basically the openings where the DCT will connect to. Is this clear? Now what you need to
Yes,
remember is
ma'am.
that all the paths other than the loop of Henle is going to remain in the cortex region.
All the
All the parts of your nephron, that is glomerulus, Bowman's capsule, PCT, DCT, everything is going to remain in the cortex region.
Oh, all of them stay in the cortex region only.
Yes. The only thing that goes into the medullary pyramids is basically the loop of Henle. Okay. So this loop of Henle sometimes can be long, can sometimes be short. So based on how long that particular loop of Henle goes, you can actually classify the new nephrons. Okay. Now, in the beginning, I told you about some cells called as juxtaglomeruli cells.
What, ma'am?
I told you about juxtaglomeruli cells, remember?
Oh, yeah, juxtaglomeruli cells.
What did I say they are?
They are just, wait. Wait.
Correct only, tell me.
Juxtaglomeruli cells, I know.
They are just near the glomerulus.
Oh, you mean like that? Yeah,
Yes.
they're near the
Cells
glomerulus.
near the glomerulus is called as juxtaglomeruli cells. Where do you think it should be there? It shouldn't be there in the cortex region or in the medullary pyramids.
It should be in the
where do you think these cells called as juxtaglomeruli cells be present? In the cortex region or the
Cortex.
medullary region?
Cortex.
Why cortex?
Because cortex. You told me cortex. I mean, you didn't tell, but cortex only.
What made you say it is cortex?
Oh, because I think it's cortex.
It's because these cells, I said, they are near the glomerulus, and glomerulus is always present in the cortex. So, of course, these cells also will be in the cortex only, no?
Hmm. Oh yeah, no. Ma'am.
Once again. Oh, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I got a call in between. So, you understood this logic here?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, as I told you that based on how long that loop of Henle is going to be, you can actually classify the nephrons as cortical nephrons or medullary nephrons.
Cortical or?
Cortical or medullary.
Hmm.
So the name itself says cortical nephrons means the loop of Henle is going to be very short and it is going to extend only a bit into the medullary pyramid. Major portion is going to remain in the cortex. Okay, so this particular image here is an example for cortical nephrons. Now, when I talk
Which,
about
ma'am?
medullary nephrons, what
Yeah.
should be the definition for it?
Present near the medulla.
Yes, present near the medulla, and they go
Medulla
deep down. Yes, which
down,
portion
not
of
on
the
top.
nephron goes deep down into the medulla?
Medullary, this thing.
Eh?
Which
Which
portion
part?
of?
Which part of the nephron goes deep down into the medulla?
Which part of nephron goes deep down?
What did I tell you about the parts of the nephrons, where they are placed?
Oh, distal convoluted tubule.
Distal convoluted tubule. From where did you
No,
get
no,
this?
no, no,
Did
no.
you understand what I said till now?
Oh, proximal distal is not here. Wait. Ma'am, wait. You asked which part of the nephron?
Is going to go into the medullary pyramids.
Juxtamedullary nephron.
I asked which part of the nephrons.
Ma'am, so confusing this is. Wait.
This is not at all confusing. It's very easy. You're not paying attention. That's the reason.
Which part of nephron?
Tell me what are the different parts of nephrons in the same order I told you. Starting with Bowman's capsule.
Same order.
Yes, starting with Bowman's
Okay.
capsule.
Bowman's capsule.
Is going to have what?
Then it will have glomeruli. Those
Glomerulus is the singular version of it.
glomerulus. And then after that, proximal convoluted tubule, distal convoluted tubule.
Between
Loop of
proximal
Henle
and distal convoluted
and
is
distal Henle's loop. Henle's loop.
Henle's loop. Okay. Now, in the cortex region, which all parts of nephrons is present?
Proximal tubule, glomerulus, Bowman's capsule.
Okay. And
Henle's loop.
Distal convoluted tubule. Okay. Now, this Henle's loop is what is going to go into the medulla. You will never find the distal convoluted tubule or your proximal convoluted tubule in the medullary region. Got this? Okay.
Yes,
always, come what may, whatever type of nephrons it is, always these parts, that is your glomerulus, Bowman's capsule, PCT, DCT, is going to remain in the cortex region. Now, depending upon where that Henle's loop is extending to, you can classify your nephrons as juxtamedullary nephrons and cortical nephrons.
Juxtamedullary and?
Cortical nephrons. So those nephrons whose Henle's loop is very short and it hardly goes into the medulla, you can call those nephrons as cortical nephrons.
Henle's loop is very short, hardly goes into nephron. It is
Hardly goes into
cortical
medulla.
medulla. It is cortical nephron.
Yes.
And if it's very long, it is juxtamedullary nephron. Hello? Ma'am, I can't hear you.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
What do you mean by justa?
It goes far into the medulla.
Justa means nearby, near the medulla.
Henle's
So,
loop goes into the medulla.
exactly. So if the Henle's loop is into the medulla, then it is going to be juxtamedullary
Juxta.
nephrons. Did you understand
Hmm.
this difference?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, what is the answer for it?
Henle's loop, PCT, and
Hmm?
DCT. Oh, sorry. Henle's loop is not there. Shit. Only PCT, DCT.
Yes, Henle's loop is an exception.
Hmm.
Okay. Henle's loop will see the question says which lies in the cortex. So in the cortex,
No.
PCT, DCT, Bowman's, and glomerulus. Henle's loop
Hmm.
also extends into the medulla a bit. No, see this image here.
Hmm.
Can you see
Hmm.
the image? Here, can
Juxta.
you see the loop of Henle is going into the
Hmm.
medulla a bit? So how
Hmm.
can you say it is present in the cortex region?
Yes, ma'am.
So loop of Henle is going to be in the medullary region. Depending upon whether it is going deep down into the medullary pyramid or it is very small, you have two types. What are the two types of nephrons?
Juxta and cortical.
Just medullary nephrons mean
So deep down into medulla.
deep down into?
Medullary region.
Okay. And
And cortical is not deep down.
okay. Are these concepts clear?
Yes, ma'am. Too many
Okay.
names to remember for today.
Yes. Okay. The last one that I want you to remember is this again in several previous years question, they have used this particular term. So you should not forget it.
Glomerulus
This
along with Bowman's capsule is called Malpighian body.
or renal corpuscle,
Hmm.
or it's also known as Malpighian corpuscle.
Hmm.
Okay. So when I say Malpighian corpuscle or renal corpuscle, you
It
should
means
not get that.
glomerulus along with Bowman's capsule.
When I say renal tubules, what does it mean?
Proximal convoluted tubule, renal distal convoluted tubule.
That's it.
And Henle's loop.
Correct. So as I said, glomerulus is going to be a tuft, like a ball
Hmm.
of capillaries. Okay, so this we already discussed. Then we have efferent. Yes, this is what I said, peritubular capillaries
Hmm.
and your vasa recta.
U
Okay,
shape.
yes. Yes, the length of a nephron is approximately like equivalent to 16 kilometers of one
One
nephron.
nephron.
Yes.
Ma'am, that whole 16 kilometers is inside our body.
We have millions of nephrons in our body.
Ma'am, I don't think it's one nephron, ma'am.
It's one nephron. Why do you think you
One
have
nephron, if I take and stretch it, it is 16 kilometers. So,
yes, just
so
like
if I take out my
alveoli. Your
if I take
kidney
out
is
the
gonna
kidney
be
and take out the nephron,
see nephron. Why do you think nephron has a lot of folds?
so if I
It's
open all
highly
those folds, I'll get 60-kilometer long tube.
yes.
But will the tube be microscopic or will I be able to see the tube?
Sorry, it's not one nephron. Ayyo, Naina sollitirken. It's not one nephron.
It
It's
is
like
all the
if you
nephrons
all
together.
the nephrons, if you arrange, you will get 16 kilometers length.
That's what. One nephron,
I was
16
thinking
kilometer
one
means will
nephron means
die.
how it is possible. Even I was thinking, yes. So this is basically all the nephrons of both your kidneys.
Yeah, then correct.
Similar to your lungs, how if you spread your lungs,
Hmm.
it is equivalent to the tennis court. Okay.
How?
So I think we are done with it. Okay. So this is the last part. So your urinary bladder, okay, is a muscular organ. The opening
Hmm.
of your urinary bladder is controlled by the urethral sphincters.
Hmm.
What are they called?
Urethral sphincter.
Yes, they are the ones who help in the opening and closing of it. That's the only
Hmm.
thing you need to know. Okay. And the urinary bladder is lined by which epithelium? This is also an important question.
Transitional epithelium.
Yes. Okay. That's it. So with that, this is a summary of whatever we learned today about the structure of nephron. Any doubt till now?
I should
I
read
know there
textbook.
are like too many names. That's why I tried breaking the reason behind the names. So if you know the reason, it's easier to remember the name.
Hmm. Yes, ma'am.
Is that
Ma'am, can
clear?
you hear me? Huh.
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear
Yes,
me?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So that's it like for today. So since you learned,
Thank you,
please
ma'am.
today itself, before you forget, please take 10 minutes and go through your textbook. I don't think there is like more than 10 minutes worth content that you learned today.
Or if you ask me any question from this chapter, I will answer.
Yeah, let's see, let's see. Because see, like if
Any
you
question.
forget the terms tomorrow, it's going to be very difficult to learn the processes.
Oh, ma'am, tomorrow, if I miss any question, no, I'll go bald, ma'am.
You'll go bolder. Pah.
I'm
This class
joking.
is recorded, no? So yeah, in
I'm
case if you
joking.
make a mistake, let's see tomorrow.
I'm joking, ma'am.
No. Sorry, I took it seriously.
Wow.
Ha 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 ha.
Ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I'll go eat
Sure,
biryani.
sure.
Yes.
Okay, take care then. Bye bye.
Bye, ma'am.